Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio, NBA Pub Hub, Wednesday, February 9th. Ian Cameron with Skee Profit, Dutch Boy Fresh, and TROT Wham on a Wednesday, ready to break down the NBA card. And I'm feeling pretty good. Why not? After that was once in a lifetime shit for me last night. 15-0 in the NBA, and I didn't think it was going to be 15 bets for me going into the day when I started handicapping the card. But when you start to add it up, we ended up with three teams that we bet first half and full game. So that lended it to being more wagers than I initially thought. But obviously, I was once in a lifetime where the stars align every now and then, and you get a night like that, 15-0. But yeah, Suns and Sixers over. The Boston first half full game double up. Atlanta Hawks team total over. Pacers Hawks over. Memphis -8. Denver first half full game. New York and Denver over first half and full game. Milwaukee team total over. Milwaukee -3.5. Orlando +1. And Minnesota first half and full game. And there you have it, 15-0. Unbelievable. But I'm scared shitless about this card because I know I'm going to get, it's like me, I'm like the Bucks today. I'm going to be looking to avoid the letdown spot after a big win. That's what I'm trying to do today. No letdown spot. We got to try to keep making some money today. So looking forward to it with this Wednesday card. Let's get right to it. We'll start with San Antonio and Cleveland. We got Cleveland 5.5, 6-point home favorites, 216, 216.5 the total in this one. A lot of question marks for Cleveland. The one thing I'm sure of is Karis LeVert will make his Cleveland Cavaliers debut in this game tonight after getting him from the Indiana Pacers. They expect him to be in the starting five tonight. Darius Garland, who's missed, of course, the last few games, it's one of the reasons they went out and got LeVert to patch together this backcourt that's been depleted this year for the Cavaliers. Good news is Garland might return after a 4-game absence with that back injury that he's had. He's a game-time decision, but apparently he's trending toward playing. We can't say officially that he'll play in this game, but it's sort of looking like he may be available tonight for JB Bickerstaff and the Cavaliers. Cavs have won 3 of their last 4. You got to give them credit. I mean, they had the bad loss to Houston when they had really no point guard in that game, no adequate point guard anyway, but they bounced back to beat Charlotte and Indiana in their last 2 games, won and covered in both of those. It's going to be a little more difficult against the Spurs, but when you look at San Antonio, they beat Houston twice and Chicago, which was actually a pretty good win. But outside of that, they've kind of struggled. They're only 3-6 in their last 9 games. That's straight up. I'm looking to back the Cavs here if Garland's in. If he's not, I would still lean to Cleveland here a little bit. I think they're the much better of these two teams, especially on the defensive end of the basketball court. So I would look at Cleveland here, and certainly probably will have a bet on it, just depending on the size of it is going to be whether we get confirmation that Garland returns for the Cavaliers. But it would be Cleveland or pass for me. I'll end up on the Cavs for something here, laying the points. Skee, what do you think here? San Antonio, Cleveland.
I'm going to disagree with you off the jump. I'm not sure Garland plays for one, and the way the line was moving early this morning, I'm not sure where it's at now. But it was kind of like, indicating that maybe LeVert and or Garland are not going to be in the lineup today. And you have the Spurs, who have a rare 4 days of rest before this game. If you tell me there's going to be no Garland, who's been one of the main reasons Cavs have had success this season, and I get the more rested team with 6 points, I'm gonna take those 6 points. And I also like the Spurs first quarter. Cavs have kind of fell off lately to start games. I think there's something like 3-7 or something like that the last 10. And I want to say the Spurs are 6-3-1, somewhere around those numbers. So I like Spurs first quarter. I like Spurs full game. And I'm also I like the under in this game. And usually when I think of Spurs, it's overs, but not on the road. 15-9 to the under. They're Cavs 18-7 to the under at the house. And like I said, if there's no Garland, I expect their offense to struggle. I look at the last 3 home games, which is the last 2 weeks for Cleveland. Their game's not even averaging 200 points. So one more nugget from our guy, Ronald Ucapper. He says Spurs 10-2-1 to the under on the road versus winning teams. So I like I said, Spurs early, Spurs full game, and I like the full game under.
All right, so that's full game under and Spurs first quarter, Spurs full game plus the points here for Skee with San Antonio and Cleveland. So we'll see how that one plays. Dutch, what do you think here? Spurs Cavs.
Yeah, man. Real quick, salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all love. Yo, you already know it's West Coast Wednesday, and the NBA is a hell of a drug. And you looking at the plug. Yeah, man. Hey, be sure to hit that motherfucking like button like our guy Bobano. Hit him over the motherfucking head yesterday. Big shout out to our guy. Salute for motherfucking killing it. We've all been doing pretty well this week, but 15-0, that's a motherfucking beautiful thing. Big salute, my guy. But yeah, man, this game, you know, it's crazy. It's really crazy because last night I was like, ooh, like Cavaliers. And I kind of pretty much thought everything you were saying. I didn't know Garland was going to be running, though. I didn't know that. I think I capped this game as him not playing. But then I look a little more into it, and I kind of agree with what Skee said. I can't lie, man. I do. I like what he said about, you know, the Spurs with the extra rest. And who knows, like, we're going to see LeVert, you know, first game. That could affect him a little bit. And like I mentioned with LeVert, he kind of is a black hole. You know, I like the dude. He's a talented player, but he's about his. So we'll see how that works. But they need a player like that, I believe, on that team. It's just a matter of if it's going to fuck up the chemistry or not. You'd like to have Garland, the leader, out there, obviously, on the court to run the show. I believe that would help. But yeah, this game is becoming more and more exotic as a motherfucker to me because I wanted to bet the Cavs, but now when I really break it down and look at it, everything really, I ain't gonna lie to you, tells me to bet the Spurs. They're 8-1 ATS last 9 versus a team with the winning home record, so they play up to the competition, especially on the road. The Cavs, on the other hand, are 1-6 ATS last 7 as a favorite. Now, the Spurs are 4-1 ATS last 5 meetings, I believe. So, you know, it just looks at it as, you know, I really like the 4 days rest. 4 days is a lot of fucking rest as well. So I just think, you know, I might have to have action here on the Spurs, but I'll probably leave it alone. And these two teams did play January 14th in San Antonio. The Cavs were a 3-point favorite. They did cover a 5-point win with Garland in the lineup. So a very close game as well. And I believe the Spurs are pretty healthy right now and well rested, as we touched on. So this, in a long ass motherfucking thing, is going to be exotic backwood for me. Yeah, man.
It's the Dono train on the show early today. Jay Wills coming through with
Willie
the
Wills.
Dono train trip. $10 Dono. Thank you very much, my friend. Hope you're feeling good with the despite the Lakers and what happened last night. But we appreciate you being here and joining us here. And thank you for the Dono, $10. We appreciate it very much. It was a great day on the show. Everybody did well. Dutch, you did well. Wham, yeah, you hit a few as well. So Billy as well. So it was a good day overall with the NBA Pub Hub yesterday. So we'll see if we can keep it rolling tonight. Wham, what do you like here with Cleveland and San Antonio?
Yeah, man, I did pretty well yesterday, bro. Just shouldn't have had the damn Lakers here, but everybody likes them today. But we'll get to that later on. In this game here, we know what team wants to score in the paint. It's the San Antonio Spurs. They want to score in the paint. What about the defense as far as the Cavaliers? The trees are back, of course, but they actually have still been giving up about 48.8 points in the paint. I kind of would agree with Skee here. I think the San Antonio Spurs may be alive here. I don't want to see this class. I don't want to back this Cavs team without Garland. So obviously Garland does make a big difference. If you're going to back the Cavs, I would think if you would, he would be a good point to distribute the ball. I think Caris LeVert had a moment on the Pacers where he was distributing the ball recently, and he was going over his assist prop. Something I got to see here first on. JB Bickerstaff has been doing a great job, so I could expect them to continue to do so. With that being said, I'm not going to be on the Cavs today. I think San Antonio is live. This is a backwood for me, but it's not an exotic one for me. I think it's more like, you know, a backwood that somebody accidentally passed and I hit it a little bit and then I passed it back. So that's kind of how I'm feeling today in this one. But I haven't bet it yet, but I'm thinking here San Antonio.
It better be exotic as fuck if you accidentally hit that bitch, bro.
Yeah.
Now we say exotic as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, it sounds good,
bro.
but
not complete
this just sneaks up on you, though.
Backwood.
This one will sneak up on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You was on the session. And
Dutch
passed me the backwood. That's all it was.
I'll never have a backwood. That shit will not happen. So that will not happen, bro. But if you're looking for props, also real quick, Murray, you can't go wrong with him, and then also Jared Allen points and rebounds. But yeah, man, I just want to watch this game. That's really what it comes down to.
All right, we got Chicago and Charlotte next up. Chicago 1.5, 2-point road favorites, 237 the total in this game. The one thing I failed to mention with Cleveland, 2 wins in a row, but they were Indiana and Charlotte. That's the equivalent of the Sisters of the Poor right now. They're just not beating anybody good at the moment, too. So keep that in mind. And one of those teams they beat was Charlotte, and they just cannot get out of their own way. They've lost 5 in a row, 0-5 straight up, 1-4 against the spread in those 5 games. Losses to the Clippers, Celtics, Cavs, Heat, Raptors. Pretty tough schedule, all things considered, for Charlotte. So yeah, they're struggling badly, but they've lost to at least decent or good or great teams. Not really any bad ones during that stretch, but unfortunately, they're facing another pretty good team here in Chicago. Now, Chicago's banged up. There's no Ayo Dosunmu tonight, out with concussion. Of course, Alonzo Ball, Derek Jones, Patrick Williams, Alex Caruso remain out for the Bulls, but Zach LaVine did come back against Phoenix and obviously helps them significantly from an offensive perspective. And I think you get Chicago coming in here with full focus. I often say when you face a struggling team like Charlotte, as long as your focus is there, as long as you're not going to look past your opponent and you're the better team, you should probably get the job done. I think Chicago will. I don't think they'll look past Charlotte. They're off 2 straight losses to Philly and Phoenix at home. 2 really good teams, obviously, in their last 2 games. I think Chicago's got enough in them to get the job done. Charlotte's just not playing good basketball. You're basically asking Chicago to win the game. And that's to me, that's worth a bet in my opinion. So to me, I like Chicago here, -120, -125 money line. And you know what we're doing with the total. It's a Chicago game. Been riding the Chicago overs. Now, the problem is, when I bet it, it was like 233. I didn't even get the best number. This total's been absolutely obliterated. It's gone all the way up from 233 to 236.5, even 237. So everybody's seeing what I'm seeing. Chicago is just more offense than defense right now. So I do like the over, but you're not getting as good a number on that now. I still like it, though, the current number. And I also like Chicago to snap their mini 2-game skid against a team that's kind of in free fall right now, the Charlotte Hornets. And things got even worse for them. Gordon Hayward just came back and now sprained ligaments, out indefinitely, out till after the All-Star break. I mean, we got to maybe lower the casket on his career at this point. He just can't stay healthy and on the floor anymore, Gordon Hayward, and that's a shame. What do you think here, Dutch? Chicago, Charlotte.
Yeah, man. Hey, big shout out to James Cowley with the kind words. Muchly appreciated. Also, a big shout out to our guy, Sweaty Butcher. Yeah, now that motherfucker be rolling the exotic. Puts it in the wood, and I ain't mad at him, but that'd be some fire, though. Flame. All day. Jungle Boys, big shout out to my guy. Don Mack, I see you, my dude. Yeah, man. This game, I like this game a lot. I agree pretty much with everything you said. Ian, I just believe the Bulls. Mainly what this comes down to is we talked about the Hornets. I believe they're taking bad shots. The chemistry's all fucked up, and now you take Gordon Hayward, who I believe was kind of just another guy trying to get his coming back. Now he's out. I don't think it's going to really affect him too much in the positive or negativity, to be honest with you. I think you're pretty much seeing what you're going to see from the Hornets, and that's a team that we could fade. And I believe the Bulls are. I don't like that AO's out. How the fuck you say dude's name from Illinois, the rookie? I don't like that he's out. He's been, he's been playing a lot better than he probably actually played in Illinois coming out. I thought he was kind of. I thought he was going to be better than he was in college, and now he's surprising me actually in the NBA. I knew he had some defense, but he's shooting pretty well from the perimeter, and everyone's touched on the assist as well. So him being out, I don't like, but I still believe the Bulls will have enough with DeRozan, LaVine, and Big Vooch. I think they'll just have enough simply, and also coming out those 2 losses, those 2 tough losses you touched on, Ian, to the Sixers and the Suns, I believe also. They're going to come out and you're going to get the best effort from simply a better team in the Chicago Bulls. Now, I touched on the Hornets being an auto fade of late. They're 1-5 ATS last 6, 0-5 straight up. And it's kind of get your basketball. Everybody just pick up basketball from Oubre to Bridges to LaMelo to Rozier. It's just everybody get theirs, and they still can't get 100 fucking points in the last 5 games, averaging 97 points per game. 0-6 against the number last 6, and 1-6 straight up last 7 in conference. So I love the Bulls here. They are 3-0 straight up last 3 and against the number. Average margin of win is 17 points per game versus these boys the last 3. They're shooting 53% from the field in that span, have been out-rebounding these boys by 9+ a game. I just think it'll continue. And the big thing to me is what I said when I look at Chicago, we talked about it, we touched on it. The number one weakness for me is the big. After Vujacic, we kind of look down. They got Tony Bradley. They're starting Javonte Green. Kid plays out of his mind for 6'4", don't get me wrong. but he's literally their power forward. But when you look over at Charlotte, that's their weakness as well. After Plumlee, it's PJ Washington and nobody else realistically. So I believe that'll kind of even out, and Chicago will have their way here. They are 4-1 ATS last 5 meetings and 4-2 overall last 6. The Bulls will handle business in Charlotte.
All right, liking the Bulls as well here in this one, and I'll say this about the Chicago defense: they're going to struggle till they get Lonzo and Alex Caruso back. Those are 2 of their better defenders, and obviously without them, that's really when this over binge for them started. When those 2 guys got their injuries, and we've seen that here. But I think they got enough, certainly offensively, to still win the game. DeMar DeRozan's been absolutely terrific, and you look at Charlotte defensively; their numbers: 20th field goal percentage defense, 23rd 3-point percentage defense. They're going to have trouble matching up with Levine and White in the backcourt. They're going to have trouble matching up with DeRozan. I think Vucevic is going to feast in the low post against this Charlotte team, which you can do damage against them around the rim right now. So Big Vooch should have a pretty good game for them tonight for the Bulls. So there's a lot of offensive advantages. Let's put it that way for Chicago tonight. Wham, what do you think here, Bulls Hornets?
Yeah, it's very interesting hearing you guys' breakdowns and takes on this game here. Obviously, this is one of the highest totals of the game, 237, I believe is where you're seeing that, 237.5 in some spots as well. So you're obviously expecting a lot of points. Both of these teams' defense have been a little bit suspect. The Chicago Bulls, they actually had a 29th ranked defensive rating over the last 5 games. Been really bad in that aspect. Also giving it up to opponents, just about 40%, 40.5% from 3 in that span. So I kind of want to look here towards the 3-point props here. You guys know where I like to go. I try to take advantage of what they've been doing recently, plus what type of team is going to be shooting. We know this team, they like to chunk and duck. And all the guys, I mean, even PJ Washington is set at 2.5. A lot of these guys are set at 2.5. The only guy that's not is Miles Bridges, and he had 6 attempts, if I'm not mistaken. No, he had 7 attempts in the last game, 6 attempts for the game before. Without the Gordon Hayward out there, he's going to give those guys a little bit more reps, more looks towards the rim, more looks towards the arc. So I expect that guy to do it. So I think Miles Bridges is the way. I did bet this game. This is not something I sent out as an official play yet, but Miles Bridges over 1.5 3-point makes is the only bet that I did have locked in on this bet on this game. Other than that, I would say something about like a first half over. I could see it being like a 60-60 going over there. We could get over the total in the first half. I can see that happening here. But other than that, that's the only way I'm betting in this game. I do expect this team to play a little bit better with the lack of defense that you see from the Bulls. So I do expect the Hornets to play better. But am I really willing to back them with the coach issues, with the lineup issues, all that shit going on with them, guys in and out the lineups, kind of giving me a little worried not putting my money today. And like Ian said, I'm trying to tread lightly today. You know what I mean? I think the Lord Gambler, as he would say, trying to bite me back. So I'm going to stay away, and I'm only keying in on Miles Bridges today. I do like his 20.5 points. Again, he's had 20 points in the last 5 games, about, I believe, only once. So, and it was 25 in the last game, but I think, again, he's going to get an uptick in shots. He had 17 shots last game. I think he probably gets to 20 shots today. So that's the way I'm looking. It's just Miles Bridges. I'm keying in on him.
Yeah, Lord Gambler, I wounded him last night significantly, so he's going to want his pound of flesh and get me back tonight. So I'm with you. I'm a little bit concerned about this card coming off the high of last night. That always worries me. A huge night, and you end up paying the price for it, the piper for it the next time out. What do you think here, Skee, Chicago and Charlotte?
Y'all covered this game pretty good. I don't want any part of what Charlotte is doing, It seems like he be hating on the players. The players don't like him. And it's a lot of stuff going on.
That is. Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on in Charlotte, in my opinion. And I just don't like how they've been playing lately. So with the Bulls, it hasn't really mattered. They find a way no matter who goes out there on the floor. So I lean towards the Bulls. That's simple.
Yeah, and I like the fight in Chicago the other night. That's a great point. Don Mack, great point. I mean, they were getting blown out most of that game by Phoenix, and they hung in there. They actually put a scare into the Suns in the last couple minutes there, made a late run, made that a 3-point margin at the end of the day. That's actually a bad beat if you had Phoenix laying the points in that game. It was all late, and Chicago came through the back door in that one. So, but I think they get back on track. You're right. I'm with Skee in that there's issues on the court, chemistry issues, and there's issues off the court. I think players with the head coach, James Borrego, right now with this Charlotte team as well. There's no issues right now with the Toronto Raptors. They're taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Toronto -10, road favorites, 204.5 the total. There might be an issue with them covering 10, though, tonight as road favorites in this game. This has flat spot written all over it. Now, they've not fallen into these yet, the Raptors, during this great run. But you look at some of these games and some of these opponents here. They've played not so much Charlotte, but they got the job done. And we all love the Raptors in some form in that game the other night. 116-101. They beat the Charlotte Hornets. But you look at the big-time opponents and big game feel that it had for the Raptors before that. Atlanta, good team. Chicago, good team. Miami, twice. Atlanta again. Chicago again. You know, they played the Bulls twice, the Heat twice, the Hawks twice. 3 good Eastern Conference teams. They won all those games pretty much. They did win all those. They lost the first one against Chicago. And other than that, they beat Miami twice. They beat Atlanta twice. And they won the second game against Chicago in overtime. Big games. They won against Charlotte the other night. But now you're going against a Western Conference team, a non-conference team, a weaker non-conference team, and you're laying a big number. And I remember Portland just recently at home. The Raptors played them. It was a non-conference game. It was a weaker team, and the Raptors spit the bit. That was one of the worst games they've played this month. So this is definitely not a spot I'm really rushing to lay 10 with Toronto here. The question is, can you trust Oklahoma City? And Thunder coming off a 12-point loss at home to Golden State in their last game. Again, they're still very much, missing Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Who's not coming back until after the All-Star break. Muscala, Robinson, Earl, Roby, all out for them. Trey Mann, Lou Dort, Josh Giddey have been the players really stepping up and trying to carry things for Oklahoma City. But, maybe I would look at a Thunder first half, because I remember Toronto win that Portland game at home where they were coming off a lot of big games on the road. They came home and they didn't start that game strong at all, and then they made a run. Maybe they catch Toronto sleeping a bit early in the game. So maybe a small lean to the Thunder in the first half. But other than that, this is going to be a backwood. I think the under was a good bet too, but everybody and his brother agrees. That's the problem, because this total opened 208 and it's 204.5. So a lot of that value has been taken out of that with the total. Wham, what do you think here? Raptors Thunder.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna have to back it with this game. I do like the Thunder, of course, in the spot for a lot of the reasons that you said. A flat spot for the Raptors. They could possibly just be looking down on this team, but the Raptors kind of have been a little bit better on the road. I believe they're 6-3 ATS over the last 10 games, and also I believe they're 3-1 if I'm not mistaken. I just seen that shit right here. My apologies, you guys, for having that brain fart there. But it's just tough. It's just so hard to go ahead and go against this Thunder team, because you don't expect shit from them, but they still been covering, especially at the house. They find a way to do it, and this was one of those teams I'm just don't want anything to do with as far as backing, as far as the Thunder, because we know what type of time they're on as far as what they're trying to do long term here. So without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and I believe you may be without Lou Dort, even though if he is in the lineup, I may be looking towards his 3-point prop here, but it's kind of tough, bro. I haven't had any real good feel on the Thunder recently, and I know you've been cashing Babano. It's just one of those things I just don't think against this team. I don't want to jump into it, because we know what type of coaching is going to happen here with the Nick Nurse. He's going to at least have these guys ready. Oh, yeah. And I can see the trifecta, like Joe Chris said, and Smack City for my guy Sam here as well. I can see all that transpiring here. Just maybe I'm a little puss safe here, like my guy Peter Loshak would say. I'm gonna stay away from this game. This is a backwood for me.
Yeah, I think favorites are 16-3 ATS, 19-3 ATS, some kind of crazy run for favorites in the NBA going into tonight. However, you don't want to blindly bet that. Still got to look at every individual game. It'll turn at some point again, but no, there's no question. It was, especially last night, it was chalk city last night for the most part. All the favorites got the job done. I will say this, because they mentioned this after the game ended against Charlotte the other night for the Raptors. With the starting 5 of Van Vliet, Trent, Anunoby, Barnes, and Siakam, those starting 5 together, in the starting lineup for the Raptors in the last 8 games since they've had them, 7-1 straight up in ATS. That's when the run started for the Raptors, getting these 5 together on the court at the same time. And that's when the turnaround started for this Raptors team. But like Wham said, like I said, I just don't love the spot necessarily for them tonight. Skee, what do you think here? Toronto, OKC?
Yeah, I don't. I kind of disagree, maybe a little bit with some stuff that was said here. I mean, what are the Raptors? Why wouldn't they show up in this game? What are they looking forward to? Playing Houston tomorrow? I don't see. Why the Raptors don't come in here and do the same thing they've been doing for the past 2 weeks. So, I get the one thing I'll say is I get laying 10 on the road is a lot when you play tomorrow. That I will say I understand, but I think you can get in early with the Raptors. First half. Last 3 games, plus 6.7 margin for the Raptors, -7 for OKC. If you look at the first quarter too, it's interesting. I think Raptors were like plus 9 point something, and OKC was like 0.7 or something like that. So I think you get in and get out with the Raptors first quarter or first half.
And I think you probably look at Siakam again, I think he's kind of upset he's not in the All-Star game with his buddy, Fred VanVleet, because, he's playing like an All-Star the last week or two, and 24 points. What's he averaging? 24 points, 11 rebounds, something crazy. I mean, he's been absolutely, 24 points, 11 rebounds, and even 5.5 assists per game during this 8-game streak here for the Raptors. So Siakam over points, points, rebounds, assists. I think that's a prop to look at too tonight for the Toronto side in this one. Yeah, Coach Nurse is a crazy short rotation, and Ujiri's got to do something before tomorrow. Get some depth. You need some depth. You just can't be running 7 guys into the ground, the rest of the regular season and into the playoffs. It will come back to haunt you at some point, but we'll see if he can add some depth to this team before the deadline tomorrow.
Maybe THT.
Maybe. Maybe. Dutch, what do you think here? Raptors and Thunder.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy, Jay Peasy. Hey, Mark Nick in the house, man. Good to see you back where you need to be, my guy. Yeah, man. Let's see. With JB Brown, he was on the big shout out to you. Profitable day yesterday. He liked the over first half team total. Hey, but you motherfucking Thunder buddy talked about this motherfucking backwards so fucking much. Please put that bitch up and let's keep moving.
Move to Minnesota and Sacramento again for the second straight night. These two teams, the Timberwolves, 8-point road favorites, 234 the total in this game. So I had the Minnesota first half full game split last night. They're playing again tonight in Sacramento. It's still the same 2 ways I would consider it as Minnesota first half and a full game. But then we got word about the injury situation here for Minnesota, and all of a sudden, and maybe not shocking because they're playing Sacramento and they had the big win last night, that Russell's questionable, Anthony Edwards is questionable, Patrick Beverley questionable. So D'Angelo Russell, Patrick Beverley, Anthony Edwards, all questionable. So, I was lined up to take Minnesota first half full game, just like I did last night, but we're going to probably pump the brakes a little bit until we know more from those. I still don't want Sacramento at any point. We know they traded a bunch of players away. Some of them might be able to make their debut tonight, talking about Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, Domantas Sabonis. Right now, they haven't said for sure they're going to make their debut. It's game time decision for all 3 of those guys. Let's see if they play. There's just lots going on here. Who's going to be in for Minnesota? Who's going to be in for Sacramento? So it's backwood for me for now with this one. Dutch, Timberwolves, Kings, part 2.
Yeah, man. A big shout out to our guy Nets Bets, running it up on the blackjack table. Yeah, man. Let's see here. We got Keith Gordon. I see you, my dude. Lingo. Raymond Cummings, new name in the chat. Yeah, back with this motherfucker, man.
Easy decision because it's just impossible. We don't know who's in exactly on either side. Skee, Minnesota, Sacktown.
Yeah, with Russell being downgraded to questionable, that kind of takes my enthusiasm away from betting this game. I mean, if I know he was going to be in the lineup, Minnesota, they've been scoring, averaging 125 points per game, I think, the last 2 weeks. So I was looking at their team total or first half team total, but without Russell, no T-Wolves at all for me. So backwood game, like that said.
Yeah, I had Minnesota first half full game on the radar, team total over, even the full game over, just like last night, which flew over the total. I was all thinking about all of those in some form, but as of right now, we're pumping the brakes. Wham, Timberwolves, Kings.
Yeah, exactly what you guys are saying, man. It's no reason to jump on it until you get these guys in the lineup. A top team, defensive rated team over the last 5 games against a team that's pretty much bad, and we know they're not trying to defend, and it's bottom 10 in defending in Sacramento Kings. I can only look towards Minnesota with the big number here. Only look towards the D'Angelo Russell props, but if he's not in the lineup, I don't want nothing to do with it. So, yes, it is a backwood for me as well. Right here with you guys on that one.
Yeah, so frustrating game because we just don't know who the personnel on either side. And you could say that about the next game we're going to talk about, especially from the Lakers standpoint. LA Lakers, Portland Trail Blazers. We've got the Lakers 7.5-point road favorites, 222 the total. Now, this number opened Lakers minus 7.5, bet up to Lakers minus 9.5, and now we've seen it tumble downward, back down to 7.5 the last hour or so, because of some questionables. Apparently, AD, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook are all no sure thing to suit up tonight for the LA Lakers. Not that they're all out, but they're all questionable, and there's a potential that 1, 2, or potentially all 3 of them may not play tonight for the Lakers. So, we'll have to, again, wait and see on that. One thing is for damn sure, there's going to be no Portland bet for me tonight. There's not going to be any Portland bet for me anytime soon. That team is just Fade City right now, and Orlando is going into your building and beating you and leading that game wire to wire, which they were. That was Orlando doing that to the Portland Trail Blazers last night. And I was happy about it because I had the magic. I was confident they'd find a way to beat this team. I mean, this Portland team that is tearing it down, they've just had a dismal season. Damian Lillard out, CJ McCollum traded to New Orleans. It's just a mess right now with this team. I feel bad for Anthony Simons. Here's a guy that's actually showed up, played hard most nights, but it's just a depleted team. They're tearing it down. They're rebuilding. They're kind of blowing it up. There's no way I want Portland here. It's Lakers are past, but my enthusiasm on the Lakers is obviously diminished until we know who's in for them. But this would actually be one game. I'll tell you this right now. This is one game where I would consider a Lakers first half, Lakers full game split in this one. But I'm waiting to see who's going to be on the floor for them. Lakers are past, though, for me. Skee, Lakers, Blazers.
Yeah, just go ahead and pass, Ian. Especially you just had a 15-0 day. You want to continue to have some success. Just don't even bother with that game. You know what I'm saying?
You want that streak to end? Consider the Lakers, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So as my guy Dish say, man, back with this motherfucker.
I know God, this should be the game the Lakers do figure it out and show up and get it done, because Portland's just the damaged goods right now. But you could, I guess, say that about the Lakers too. But I mean, everyone's piling on the Lakers. Were you really expecting them to be that good against Milwaukee last night? Milwaukee's not one of the best teams in the. I know Milwaukee hasn't always looked like it at times this year, but they're still one of the best teams in the NBA. This is Portland tonight we're talking about. This is, in theory, I don't mind taking the Lakers in a step down in class against a weak team in a motivational spot off that kind of loss last night. But I was just shocked that there was a lot of people liking the Lakers. I'll be quite honest. Yesterday, with what Milwaukee was doing going into that game, but I think Milwaukee kind of sensed it too. That people were thinking, Lakers maybe statement now against the defending champs. And no, statement was made by the defending champs last night. Dutch, what do you think? Lakers, Blazers.
Yeah, man. Hey, real quick, we got a good amount of people in here. We got about 370 motherfuckers in here, and we haven't even hit the Mando yet. Come on now. Don't be the Lakers. Don't be them lazy motherfuckers like the Lakers and hold them L's. Don't do it. Smash that motherfucking like button. Really hit that motherfucking like button. Bully that bitch like Giannis did them motherfucking Lakers last night. Just bully that bitch. Yeah, man. Hey, that motherfucker was 2K-ing it like on Little Bro or something last night. Just doing his thing.
Somebody get a damn body on the guy last night. I sent
a little gift to Bear, or to my man Ski before the game. It was just Giannis, just a little, hey, don't forget about me, bro. Once I seen that he, locked in the Lakers, and I tried to tell him, don't do it, bro. Don't do it. I mean, I care for your health, bro, and your account, my man. But yeah, hey, honestly, I rock the Lakers hat because I can fuck with them, bro. Hey, I fade them. They put money in my pocket. I'm smoking real good off the Lakers. I can't lie. So that's why I got the hat. I'm actually a Lakers fan right now. They keep losing them, keep boosting my motherfucking account. But for this game, hey, man, back with this bitch. Real talk.
That's
I
what
love
I'm
it.
talking
The
about.
Laker garb, Los Angeles hat, Laker garb, not because they're winning for him, it's because they're losing for him. That's why.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Tell me this shit ain't fresh as a motherfucker too, though. It'll match the fit. So but
Yeah.
yeah, it's because they're losing and boosting my account. That's why I rock it.
Yeah. Everybody's yucking it up about the Lakers now. It's just they're an easy target, unfortunately, right now with everything that's going on.
Hey,
All
you
right,
see,
Wham, it's time for
real
your
quick,
soapbox.
you see, real quick, my fault. Did you see LBJ say there's levels to it though? And hey, he's like he be watching the show pregame or something. He said there's levels
I
to it,
heard
and they ain't on the motherfucking Bucks level.
I said that too yesterday.
That. I had to say that though. Hey, my fault, Web. Go ahead, bro.
Now you good, Pat. You good, player. Do your thing. Do your thing.
There you go. All right, Wham. Here's your chance to vent. I know you tried to make a case yesterday for the Lakers. This is your chance to vent. Get it off your chest. What are you thinking?
Because you know I ain't on these motherfuckers today. You talk that shit, but matter of fact, I only put the hat off just to fucking throw this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I put that shit on. Fuck the Lakers, bro. Fuck the Lakers. Fuck LeBron. I say I love AD. I love Malik Monk. I had a campaign around Malik Monk coming. So I'm happy I gave us some sort of success. I had that shit coming. But golly, shit, damn, what the hell, bro? I thought we were going to make it a little bit closer yesterday. We come out like that. That's how we come out. So I'm not mad at anybody that likes the Lakers today, especially early. I expect them to figure this shit out. But do I really think they have pride? Do I think they have any dignity? No. We see LeBron quit on this team several times. This is all about movies for the bro. He's about getting Bronny sized up. He wanted a couple hours away from Bronny. Yeah, he wanted to be a little bit closer to his kids. It's understand. Look at Netflix dropping stakes. Yes, I want to be partaking in the stakes that Jose's giving us because I owe him 2 of them now. So, yes, I am fucking pissed off about that, but it's totally fine. Wagyu on me. It's all good. I ain't tripping. But I will say this, though. As far as this game, this is a fucking backwood. I'm glad we ended it off the show with this bullshit because this shit, man, this is one of those. This ain't even a backwood, bro. This is literally you found some weed in your couch. You know what I'm saying? That's been there for years. And you know what I'm saying? Your dirty ass smoked it. Don't take this shit today.
Which is me, going after the old that's been there in the couch, in the crotch of the couch for 8 years.
Dirty ass.
Yeah.
Dirty ass. Don't do this shit. Don't do this shit.
Blood, bro.
Come on.
If
Roach save
you
people.
smoke it, it'll make you sick, right? That's kind of like betting this game. It'll make you sick if you do
bro. Bad as it is.
I had a great day going on yesterday, too. Marcus Smart, I could lose to Marcus Smart. I would do that shit all the time. But that Laker loss, the only loss that really hurt me, bro, yesterday.
How do you come out and you get destroyed 78-56 by halftime like that?
That's what I'm saying.
78 points in the first half.
I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Simons has 40 tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops 40 on us tonight.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. And you know what's sickening is, you got a truly great Laker on your post-game show for what is it? Their Spectrum Sports, right? LA, they do all the local games there. Bill McDonald and Stu Lance do the broadcasts locally there. They've got James Worthy, one of the great Lakers of all time, in the studio. He's got to watch this bullshit every night and comment on it. That's got to make him sick watching it. A great Laker, great teams the whole time he played for this iconic franchise, and he's got to watch this crap and talk about it every single night. I feel bad for James Worthy. Lakers aren't worthy of James right now, as far as I'm concerned.
I love that wordplay.
That poor guy. He looks
like
totally fucking pissed and just beside himself with what he's
made my boy Skee leave, man. This shit is pathetic, bro.
It's like, geez, no, he's had enough. The Laker turmoil. Just can't take it anymore. No, Skee will be back. I think he just there he is. He's back now. Good stuff. So I feel that's the guy I feel bad for, James Worthy. I mean, they on television, he's got to talk about this team every night. All right, Golden State and Utah now. The final game of this Wednesday card. We've got the Utah Jazz 1.5 2-point home favorites here, 225 the total in this game. It's difficult for me still to trust Utah. When you look at it, still without Gobert, and he's really the only one that's out now. They've at least gotten Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, and a lot of their key cogs back, which has been a good sign here for the Jazz going into this game. Golden State, meanwhile, they continue to roll along, 9 straight wins. Haven't always been great covering numbers, but here's the thing. They're an underdog here in this game. All they got to do is win the game here in order to cash a ticket. You start to look at Utah. Yeah, they've won 3 in a row. Denver's inconsistent. Denver's up and down. They beat the Nuggets. And then forget about the last 2 wins. Throw them in the garbage can. Knicks, beating them doesn't do a shit for me right now, and neither does beating Brooklyn for this Utah team. So throw those games away. I'm not interested. If they want to show me something, show me tonight. Beat the Golden State Warriors tonight, who come into this game obviously playing good basketball in spite of the fact, they've had some key personnel still missing for them, namely, of course, Draymond Green's still been out for a long period of time. Looks like Kevon Looney going to be a game time decision. Looks like Klay Thompson for the Warriors isn't going to play tonight. He played last night in that game, but will be rested. It looks actually he'll rest tonight, I should say, and he's going to play tomorrow night for the Golden State Warriors. So Thompson out tonight, but he will play for them tomorrow night when they host the New York Knicks, which is kind of weird. I thought he'd play tonight against the better team, but no Thompson tonight. Golden State or nothing for me. I'm not laying points with Utah. They beat the Knicks and the Nets. We're supposed to get excited. No, not me. Show it tonight against Golden State. Skee, what do you think here? Warriors, Jazz.
Don't like that the Warriors are on the road. I don't like that. Combine that with not having Klay and Draymond, and I don't like that they play tomorrow. So those things are going to keep me off playing Golden State, although it's very tempting with them as an underdog. If I have to play this game, I probably would play the over. I just see, Utah missing a lot of rim protection over there. It's probably going to be a small ball, up and down type game tonight, and that sounds like a lot of points to me. So if I'm playing this one, it's up and over the total.
I would agree with that. Small lineups on both sides, rim protection missing, of course. Looney also might not play for Golden State. Plus, you've got Green out, and of course, Gobert for the Jazz. So it feels like a quicker pace, smaller lineups. We get points. I agree. The over might be the better way to go, but I would still only take Golden State from a side perspective as well. Dutch, what do you think here? Warriors, Jazz.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy Zachary, Jay Peasy, Spence, my dude. I see you. Mr. H-Town, Star Child, everybody in chat, big salute. But yeah, I got to back with this motherfucker.
I understand that shit.
All right, Warriors and Jazz backwood for Dutch. All right, Wham, Warriors, Jazz.
Yeah, man, it's going to have to be the Warriors only for me if I'm going to bet this game. And I am looking for the Jonathan Kuminga rebound props. If it's something around 6.5, especially with Looney not in the lineup, I think he's going to get 10, maybe even have a double-double today. So maybe I'm looking in that direction. This is one of those games that if Miles Bridges does this right, we're going to get back on this one. It's going to be the next play for me. It's going to be the Kuminga over rebounds, possibly double-double. And I do like I like Golden State side here. Again, they won. In this meeting, they won 4 straight times, and this is when the Warriors was dog ass. You know what I'm saying? So even though these guys got their guys back as far as their offensive guys, I know Rudy is not there. It's going to help the over, and I agree with you guys on that aspect. But without their guys, for Klay and Draymond now on this team, we still seen the Warriors being able to pick it up. So I expect nothing less but the Warriors that we've seen, top 5 offensive rating. I expect that to be there. As far as the defense for the Utah Jazz, I expect it not to be there. So I think they can win this game outright. I think that's probably the reason why you have Klay sit and give some rest here, have them keep ramping up for the playoffs like they have been, which is a great management. I mean, just what they've been doing over there from Golden State. So I like Kuminga today. It's probably the best for me in this game. And if I was to have to bet the side, I'm going to say Warriors +2, split the unit with the money line there. So that's the way I'll be looking here. Obviously, if Miles Bridges holds down for us.
All right, like in the Golden State here, a plus points and money line split here for Wham with this one. And yeah, I mean, Klay Thompson being out hurts, but haven't they won a lot of games previous to him returning without him this year? They did. They were terrific early in the season, even way before Klay, even came back to the Warriors. And when you look at what they get from Poole lately and Andrew Wiggins as well, these guys have been consistently scoring double figures, for the Warriors. And in a lot of cases, that's all you need because Steph Curry, is going to get you the rest of what you need. in most games. So that's why I think Golden State can still make it through here and get this dub tonight in Salt Lake City against the Jazz. We'll see how that one goes. It's definitely one of the more intriguing games of the night for sure. In the NBA, Golden State and Utah. Great stuff on a Wednesday with Skee, with Dutch, and with Wham here on the NBA Pub Hub, right here on Pub Sports Radio. Make sure you hit the like button. 342 live viewers. Hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you do that. We appreciate it. We'll try to keep the best bets rolling. I'm going for 8-0 with the best bet streak today. We'll see if we can keep it going. We got best bets, Dutch's freshest look coming up. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke at Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase. Lawnmower 4.0 or any Manscaped product, 20% off with promo code PubSports. And MyBookie.ag, Super Bowl 56 this Sunday. NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. Sign up for an account, mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Make sure you check that out. And the Pub Rub, there it is, $14.99, or you can get two of them for just $25. Check it out at the website, pubsportsradio.com. All right, it is best bet time and Dutch's freshest look. Let's start with Dutch today. What's he got for the freshest look?
Muted, bro.
He's got a muted mic.
Man. Yeah, that's what I got for these motherfuckers. Now, hey, the precious look, we're going to Charlotte. And you know we stay hungry. And it's only fitting they're famous for that barbecue. Because the Hornets, barbecue motherfucking chicken. And the Bulls, they about to eat. Yeah, man.
There we go. Bulls to get it done there against the Hornets. Bulls minus the did you want money line or minus 1.5?
I got that at 1.5. Yeah.
1.5. All right, Chicago minus 1.5. There you go for
scared of that. Well, 1.5.
1.5. There it is. Chicago Bulls against Charlotte minus 1.5. Freshest look for Dutch. Wham, best bet.
Best bet is going to be the only bet that I have. It's going to be Miles Bridges. We're going right back to the same game Dutch is on. And it's going to be the team that's giving up the most points, 120 points to the league in the last 5 games, averaging opponents 40% from 3. I'm going to go Miles Bridges over 1.5 3-point makes. Without Gordon Hayward in the lineup, he should see an uptick. So hit those threes, bro. We need you out here today.
There we go. All right, Miles Bridges. There it is. Player prop, best bet for Wham. Skee, best bet.
Okay, there we go. My bad. I'm gonna give you 2 in the same game, and one of the last ones we just talked about, I think, or maybe not actually. But I'm gonna go Raptors first quarter and first half. First quarter is minus 3.5. First half, if you line shop, you can get a 5.5 at MGM. But 6, I even think that's good. You know, they lost to this team last time they saw each other in December, and Raptors playing a lot better basketball as of late. So I think they smack them up, get in, and get out.
All right, that's Toronto Raptors minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 6 first half against Oklahoma City for Skee Profit and his best bet on this Wednesday card. All right, best bet for me. It's trying to make it 8 straight. Same as Dutch, actually. Chicago, money line, minus 120 against Charlotte. Fade the Hornets. Things aren't right. Off the court, on the court. Chemistry no good. And I don't think Chicago takes Charlotte lightly, not after 2 losses at home against Philly and Phoenix. I think they bounce back here. It'll be high scoring, a lot of points. Neither team playing good defensively, but I trust Chicago to put the ball in the hoop when it matters and get the win. Chicago, minus 120 against Charlotte for my best bet for this Wednesday NBA card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Hub. 337 live viewers in our chat, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. We got Connor Mack and Maxwell Smart, Net Profit, college basketball show coming up next right here on Pub Sports Radio at the top of the hour, 5 p.m. Eastern. For Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, Skee Profit, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will talk to you again tomorrow on Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific for another edition of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. You know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. So salute to the real ones. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. We on our bullshit. Yeah.
We be bumming.